Hello traders and welcome to the weekly Forex forecast for the week of April 8th, 2019. Just to get into the calendar and have a outlook for the week, as far as risk goes, it looks like Wednesday into Thursday, really Wednesday is going to be kind of the focus for the week. Otherwise, not going to have any high importance headline numbers. The focus will certainly be right there in the middle of the week. During that time, we are going to have GDP out for the British pound, the main refinancing rate for the euro, a monetary policy statement there as well. The ECB press conference and Fed meeting minutes all coming out on the same day. So that's going to be something to watch for. Otherwise, looks to be fairly quiet around that day. So let's go ahead and start looking at the dollar index here on a weekly time frame. So you can see we have a rising wedge type formation here. And you can see, as you'd expect, a little bit more of a bullish week. Still yet to break out of this 97.70 area, and still looking for a breakout for continued dollar strength here. Now, you have to understand that we could certainly bounce off this level and kind of stay in this range for a little bit longer, as I would expect. No real clear direction here, kind of bouncing around here. So look for 97.74, another rejection coming into this week, and maybe a choppy week or a slightly weak week for the dollar going in to this next week. If it does break out, watch 98.68 for the next area of resistance. Otherwise, I'd like to see it kind of bound between 97.70 and 95.96. Now, we do have this rising trend line underneath, and that could break slightly, but 95.96 so far is supporting this market, and that'd be the key area to go ahead and watch for further support. You got a few areas of rejection off this, but I'm expecting a maybe slightly bullish going here into the week to more bearish actually, and maybe stay in this range here for at least another week. Going here into the euro, I expected this to kind of lift a little bit here, but we're still kind of grinding down here at these levels. Let's go ahead and zoom in here a little bit. Continue to watch this 111.48. As you can see, we have an alert here. Watching this 111.48 for support here in this market. Should that break, probably get a run to at least 110, maybe even 108 there at this point. But you can see we have this falling wedge that we are running into, and still expecting this 111.48 to go ahead and hold this level here. We may bounce around and be a little bit choppy going into Wednesday of next week. But expect these prices to be a little bit higher here and hopefully break this wedge. So far, good break of 114.04, even 115 would be a good indication of further upside. Well, I like to see this a little bit more bullish going into the week. Watching this 112.66 might come down and tag this 111.48. Might be a good buying opportunity there here in the euro, and start moving higher, at least to 112.66, maybe even into the 113 figure area. Otherwise, it should break again. 110 would be the next area to watch, as well as 108. Pound dollar with the Brexit situation, you can see a lot of mixed data here, kind of bouncing up and down. Continuing to watch this 130 area here for continued support. We'd like to see this a little bit more bullish here. Still think this, if things kind of break the right way, we could, the formations that we've seen here are still leaning more towards the bullish side. If that's the case, we could certainly make a run back into this 130, 132, 133 area here as well. Resistance, ideally, if it starts getting really good bullish momentum here, would be 134.31. Otherwise, this 130 area is holding up the market. Should that fail off of any type of Brexit news, certainly watch this 128 level, even down to 127 as the next areas of support. Dollar yen expected a little bit more bearishness coming into the week, but we had some pretty good, data coming in, and some positive data, some positive feelings going into this past week. You can see the dollar yen playing more of a risk-off type of scenario here. Currently watching this 112 to 112.50 area here for resistance here in this market. This is making a little series of higher highs and higher lows overall in a bearish move to the downside, but I'd like to see us get into these areas for possible trades to the downside, looking towards the short side. Otherwise, if it can pull back down to 109.91, again, good buying opportunity there as well. And could certainly see bound in this area between 112.50 and this 110 to figure. So again, if it gets into 112.50, we'll be looking to short unless it breaks with some bullish momentum. Here in the Aussie dollar, you can see really tight. Not a whole lot going on since for quite a while, for many months now. Um, Really not a whole lot to say here. Continuing to look at this falling trend line here. A bullish break on momentum here above 72 would certainly propel this pair higher and probably start a new trend here. Continuing to watch a 70.39 area for support, and beyond that, if it breaks 69, 6900 area or 69 figure area for support. A Kiwi Dollar, the RBNZ came out with a pretty dovish statement. You can see that Kiwi really sold off after that, continuing that sell-off here. We could certainly see a break of this 6700 area, and if we do that, the 66 figure area would certainly be on tap, as well as the 65 area here as well. We've been in this range here for quite a while, and we'll certainly see if the data holds this up for the going into next week, but we could certainly get a bounce here again at 67. But if it does break on continuing dovishness or any poor data, certainly look for the 65 or 66 at the minimum, maybe even 65 figure area for support. Dollar CAD, you can see this pair was looking to move higher in a consolidation pattern here. Really directionless for the last couple of weeks, been bouncing around between 134.60 and 133.12. Continuing to watch this to the upside here. I'd like to see if we can break out of this and get into this 136.39 area here as well. We'll see how that shakes out for the week, but kind of like a lot of the markets here, a little bit directionless, not really seeing a clear direction either way. But 34.60 right now is the keeping the lid on price is resistance. If that breaks, look to 136.39 is next area of resistance. Support is down here, right around 130, 131 the figure. So a couple areas to go ahead and watch going into this week, though. Could get continued choppiness here in the market. But if the dollar really starts picking a direction, could really see this pair move one way or the other. Euro yen. You can see that, again, a little bit directionless here. Not a whole lot to say here in the euro yen. Just simply looking at 127.16 for resistance right now. Support's right here, 123.33. Aussie yen, again, another currency the yen crosses. Some of them don't really have a whole lot to say on them, other than it's been in the range here. Continuing to watch this 79.50 area here for almost 80 area here for continued resistance here in this market. Aussie could certainly be held up here a little bit. Yen had a pretty bullish week, and could see this pop up a little bit higher though, but I think this 80 figure here is certainly going to go ahead and keep a lid on things so far. If that does break, look at this 80.50 area as next area of resistance. Support down here at 77.71. A pound yen here. Again, with the pound on the Brexit news, you can see this kind of a mixed bag these last couple of weeks. Again, being supported here right around 144.66 and looking fairly bullish here. With the yen crosses, they've been drifting a little bit higher just on a risk-on type of feeling for the week. We'll see if that can continue into the next week, but right now 144.66, it continues to support this market. If that breaks, look to 140.83 for the next area of support. Resistance right now is at the 149.26 level. That's our weekly Forex forecast for the week of April 8th, 2019. Good hunting out there and happy trading.